What's up guys, welcome to Smokestack Joe's. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make some of the best baby back ribs using a pellet smoker. Super simple, perfect ribs every time. So the first thing we're going to have to do is make a rub for these ribs. Easy rub. Once we make the rub, we'll get the ribs trimmed, seasoned up, and onto the pellet smoker. I got the pellet smoker at 225 degrees right now. That's a good temp to smoke these ribs at. So the plan for these ribs will be throw them on the pellet smoker for about 2 hours. We're going to be checking them at the hour-and-a-half mark to see how they're doing. After 2 hours, we're going to take them out, wrap them in some foil with butter, honey, and brown sugar. Let them go for probably 1 more hour. After that, when they're the tenderness we want, pull them off, unwrap them, stick them back on the smoker for maybe 20 minutes or so just to get them dry and tacky again. All right, so first things first, let's make this rub. Okay, so this rub is going to start off with a teaspoon each of chili powder, cayenne pepper, crushed red pepper flakes, and ground mustard powder. To that, I'm going to add 2 tablespoons brown sugar, 1.5 tablespoons black pepper, tablespoon garlic powder, and 1.5 tablespoons paprika. Now go ahead and mix this up. There we go, mixed up pretty nice. So we're going to add one more thing to this rub, and it's optional. You don't need to add it. It will take this rub to the next level, and that's some MSG. Probably going to add a little shy of a tablespoon. Go ahead and mix that in. So I didn't add any salt to this rub. My preferred way is to salt the meat separately first, then go ahead and put your rub on. So let's get these ribs ready. All right, here are the baby back ribs. So I've already gone ahead and rinsed these and dried them off. You're gonna wanna do that. Get a lot of bone fragments on these baby back ribs. So go ahead and rinse them off in cold water and pat them dry with some paper towels. Now we're gonna trim these up a little bit. You can see how small the bones start to get down on this end. So what I like to do is probably cut off the last 2 bones on this rack of ribs. Now we got this little flap here. I'll just go ahead and trim that off. Now on this side, this is usually how it's going to come. Very thin, scraggly, and I like to do the same thing here. Go ahead and take either the last bone off or the 2 last bones. So this one's kind of tough. Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and just take the 1 bone off, see how it looks. That doesn't look too bad to me. I think that's how we're gonna do this. Another thing, this membrane here, most of the times people will go ahead and pull this off. I used to pull it off, but I've found recently, as long as you cook them right, this membrane will get cooked through and you won't even notice it on there. So I don't even bother pulling that off anymore. Go ahead and just leave it on there. If you want to pull it off, go ahead and pull it off. I also like how this membrane keeps all this fat underneath here. Keeps it in there, makes them nice and juicy. So I'm gonna go ahead and leave the membrane on these ribs. All right, so let's go ahead and season this. Season the backside first. Going with our salt. Backside's not too important because you got that membrane on there. Also make sure you get these edges here. Now go back over with that rub we made. All right, that looks pretty good. So I'd flip them over. Again, salt. We don't have salt in that rub, so you're gonna wanna go ahead and add salt. Add as much or as little as you like. Now, with our rub, you can go pretty heavy with this. Go ahead and just pat it in. There we have it. Some beautiful baby back ribs ready for our pellet smoker. So let's go ahead and throw them on. All right, we got our pellet grill up to temp. Let's go ahead and throw these baby back ribs on there. Just throw them up on the top rack, and that's it. All right, so we got those baby back ribs on the pellet smoker. I got it set at 225, and like I said before, I'm gonna let it go for about 2 hours. I'll check them after an hour or so just to see how we're doing. Now, when you're using a pellet smoker, a lot of times the meat will tend to dry out. I like to take a mixture of apple cider vinegar and water, 50-50. They're starting to look a little dry, go ahead and give them some spritzing. We'll wait for these things to get to where I want. I'll show you how they look, and then we'll pull them off and wrap them. See you then. All right, so these ribs have been on for 2 hours now, and they look pretty good. What you're looking for is this going on the bones. Slightly pulling back, and you can see this black color that they're getting. It's exactly what we want. Let's get these pulled off and wrapped. All right, these ribs are ready to be wrapped, so let's get some tin foil. Get either heavy-duty tin foil or double up. Even with the heavy-duty tin foil, you may need 2 pieces. Sometimes the bones will puncture the tin foil. You don't want any of these juices leaking out. So I start off with a nice base of brown sugar and some butter slices. And I also like to throw in some lard. And the last thing, drizzle some honey over all this. Now get your ribs, put them down on this like that. And I like to just go with a little more brown sugar, more butter, more lard. This is gonna allow these ribs to braise beautifully. And finish it off with some more honey. That's it. Now we just wanna get this wrapped up nice. It's gonna steam beautifully inside here. I've got the smoker up to 250 now. We're gonna throw this on, let it go for an hour, and they should be done. I will see you then. All right, so our ribs have been on for an hour. Let's unwrap them, see how they look. You wanna save all that juice. Make sure it stays in your tin foil. Look at these. All right, we're just gonna check them for tenderness. So they're feeling pretty good. We're gonna take these off, move this sauce down to the bottom. I'm gonna set this thing at 325 and we're gonna baste it with this sauce. All right, so go ahead and take all this sauce and just baste it on here. If you wanna put a barbecue sauce, go for it. I love the drippings from the ribs. This is a super sticky, sweet sauce. It's gonna almost be like a glaze. Like I said, we got the temperature up to 350. I'm gonna let this go probably for 45 minutes, basting it probably every 15. Then it should be done. I'm gonna transfer this sauce to a container and just continue to baste till it's done. I will see you when it's finished. All right, so these ribs have been on for another 45 minutes. I've been basting them every 15 minutes and they look pretty good. What we're gonna do now is we're gonna pull these off, let them rest for 15 minutes, and then we'll cut into them. So I'll see you then. All right, so these ribs have been resting for about 15 minutes now. They're ready to cut into, but take a look at these ribs. They're absolutely phenomenal. The smell is fantastic. It's got a great color, glaze on it. It's super easy to get these cooked on your pellet smoker. I highly suggest it, but let's slice into this and give them a try. All right, so my preferred way to cut ribs is to flip them over so you can see the bones and know exactly where to cut. Then just go ahead, flip them over. Oh yeah, look at these, are beautiful. There we have it. Let's give these a try. All right, so last thing, we're gonna give these a try and see how they came out. They look ridiculous, so I expect them to taste extremely good. Let me get myself a rib, give this a try. Ooh, these are meaty. All right, let's do it. That's good. It's got a little spice, nothing crazy because that rub. That honey, butter, brown sugar mixture that we were mopping on here balances out the spice perfectly. And look at this. It's not fall off the bone. Get a nice bite out of it. That's what I look for in a rib. Thank you for watching this video. Appreciate it a lot. Be sure to subscribe because I'm going to have a bunch of good videos coming out. You're not going to want to miss them. Check me out on Instagram at Smokestack Joe's. Always posting good pictures. You get a little preview of what I'm going to be doing in my videos. Be sure to check me out on there. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.